Hey, it's Brock here with Rock Hill Farms, and I'm trying to figure out what all this clay, topsoil, and compost that I have is worth, if someone else picks it up, if I haul it, and if I haul it and spread it. Looking at, my cost in it, and just what's the material worth? What's it go for in your area? A few months ago, we dug this pond expansion, and we have 4 big, 30-foot long piles of topsoil over here. I'm guessing I've got 100 tons of topsoil over there, and then I've probably got another 100 tons of clay here. Sounds like a lot. If you do this kind of stuff, you know it's really not that much. Then I've got another big pile of topsoil up there, and then I've got composted horse manure with straw and stuff in it that is probably 5 years old, and I've got pretty good size amount of that too. And I'll use some of this. I thought about just keeping it all, but at that point you've got to turn it or it's going to get grass growing in it and everything else. So I created a listing, said I had this topsoil and clay for sale, and said the price would depend on quantity and if I was hauling it and if I was spreading it. I've gotten a couple inquiries from people who said they want some when it dries up on their property, and I've got someone who wants to come this week and pick it up. I gave him a pretty reasonable price, I thought, because he's bringing his own dump trailer, but I'll have to load it with the tractor. I told him $15 a ton. I believe he just wanted the topsoil. And he's only gonna get 1 load. I tend to be too generous or underprice what I've got for the most part, and forget the fact that these materials can be hard to come by, and people will pay a reasonable price for it. And then I've got to factor in my travel cost and my expenses, depreciation on my tractor, my truck, my dump trailer. So it's kind of like how I started with pricing my tractor work, and it felt like getting $40 an hour was fine to cover my gas and expenses and still pay me a good working wage, but you're shortcutting yourself if you're not factoring in all your depreciation. So I've learned how to put a number on what my effort is worth, but ultimately, I have no idea what this kind of materials are worth. In the summer, I wanted to buy some topsoil, called around, asked people, hey, where do you get your topsoil? No one seemed to know where to tell me to get topsoil. Same thing with clay, actually. We were wanting some clay for the baseball fields, and no one knew where I could get clay. So, I just don't know. Now, I would say my topsoil is not like perfect black dirt, but it's a pretty good soil. There's no rock in it, not a lot of any kind of debris. This used to be grazing pasture, and it's got some clay in it, but overall I'd say it's pretty good soil. So let me know, where do you guys, if you're into this kind of work, what are you paying for 4 tons or 15 ton loads of all these materials? Do you think it's worth it to sell this, or would you hang on to it for future projects? Because I have a lot of stuff I'm going to be doing, and I'm probably going to end up with a lot more bulk materials like this. I'm gonna have wood chips, and I have a massive pile of sandstone. Before we sign this off, I'm gonna show you how the pond's looking real quick. Might be kind of hard to tell, but the majority of the pond has a thin, real thin layer of ice on it. It was thicker, but it's up over 40 today, so that's all melting. But at no point did it get iced over out where the bubbler's at. So that's another benefit of having the aerator in the pond. Right now you can see the island right here is only covered by about that much water. And when we dug this, we were this much below that strip right there, and then we got as high as foot and a half over it, and it's coming back down now. But for how the weather's been, I'd say it's holding water pretty well. But anyway, I appreciate you taking time to watch. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna put a couple more of our videos over here, and I'll see you next time.